Hi, I'm Jordan Webb, and I use humor as a stress management technique. Mark Twain says that humor is mankind's greatest blessing. The purpose or agenda today is to find out what is humor, why do we use it, and how does it help with stress, and how do we incorporate it into our lives. And then we will also give some demonstration examples. Humor has always been a part of history, whether it be through caveman drawings, Greek theater, or modern memes. Today, humor can be defined as the go with the flow mentality or perception. It is not a mood itself, but it can trigger a feeling or mood of joy and happiness. Humor wasn't really recognized as a form of therapy until Norman Cousins used it to address his debilitating chronic disease. He lessened his pain and restored his health through watching many comedies every day. Testaments like this led to the founding of psychoneural neuroimmunology, or PNI. Our thoughts and feelings affect our state of health, for better or for worse. So there are many different types of humor. I have some listed here and with some short little descriptions. And the key here is to find your favorite types of humor and just find what works for you and what doesn't. However, do keep in mind that some of these types are not the best to use. So, like sarcasm actually promotes stress. And then there is also inappropriate humor, which involves humor that is rude, degrading, offensive, and demoralizing. And that is totally unacceptable in any situation. And then trigger warnings are also alerts that are given before content that might create stress. And so you can use those for jokes that include different things like trauma, mental health, or violence. And basically, just know your audience and pay attention to people's reactions to find your best type of jokes. So, humor relieves stress by reducing fear, frustration, anger, and anxiety. It distracts the mind from worries and it relaxes the tense muscles. Laughing hard can bring a sense of physical relief and release beta endorphins, which promote euphoria and block pain. This connects back to Norman's story and PNI. It helps me to hear from comedians on anxiety and stress. We aren't alone when dealing with stress. These people use humor as their career, even while dealing with their own stress. Andrew has chronic anxiety and notices high stress levels, cortisol, and crashes after scheduling himself so thin. Dan wants to say he is a chill stoner, but he actually has found a lot of stress in things like opening for other comedians. As someone who has trouble staying present, I try to keep this Bill Burr quote in mind. Loretta LaRoche, a stress management expert and humorist, recommends using humor to navigate life's challenges. She emphasizes surrounding yourself with people who help you laugh, finding the absurdity in stressful situations, and avoiding habits like excessive complaining. She wants people to lighten up by becoming an observer of their own behaviors and intentionally laughing or smiling. LaRoche suggests using playful props like clown noses when you need to take yourself a little bit less seriously. She views humor as a powerful tool for connection, humility, and resilience. Her vision is a world where humor and joy take center stage. So, I personally demonstrate my incorporation of humor by watching comedy specials, mostly from Tom Segura and Dave Chappelle on streaming platforms like Netflix. Most streaming platforms do have a comedy genre search section, and Tom Segura has done 2 live shows in ABQ, and I've actually been to both of them. I like to watch humorous things after I've had a stressful day or I have watched a lot of stressing or depressing content like my true crime documentaries. I also reflect on stressful situations like a worrisome presentation and I go through what I think about at the time. After that, I reframe the situation by turning it into a funny story and thinking about how I would act that out or tell that to people like my boyfriend or my friends. So, for modifications, there are free options besides streaming platforms where you do need to have a subscription. YouTube is a great option, and social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok are also usually free with no ads. And if you don't like a certain type of comedy, whether that be like the show that you're watching or movie, I would suggest looking up different types of comedy, like how we discussed earlier, just for different ideas and just finding out what subject you find the funniest. And then also, I do recommend comics and written text. If sound isn't a major factor for you, you can try visual-based comedy sources. Humor has been around since the dawn of time, and it isn't an emotion, but it's a perception. Using humor as a form of therapy is one of the things that created the field of psychoneuroimmunology. There are many different types of humor, and you just need to find the right one for you. Humor works to relieve stress by reducing anxiety and producing endorphins. Even professional comedians deal with the stresses of daily life, and they use humor to better theirs. I watch comedy specials and go to shows and reframe my stories to incorporate humor more into my life. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, a smile is a curve that can set everything straight, so embrace humor, lighten up, and let laughter lead you to a happier and less stressful life. I will have everything linked down in the description to further texts and videos for you guys to watch.